Today I'm going to be taking a look at a Game Boy Advance that I bought as is for parts or repair. So let's see what this thing does. Put a couple batteries in. Does nothing. Okay. A lot of times on these Game Boys, a good place to start is just the power switch. So let's crack this thing open. It's a tri-wing or Y-bit driver. That's really tight screw. Ooh. Yeah, if every screw is like that, it might be worse than the power switch. Let's, yikes. Okay, well, let's keep going. These two up here are being pretty stubborn. I hope they're not as rusty as that first one we took out. The others have been good so far. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There is one Phillips style screw in the battery compartment. Oh, it looks okay. These ones are normally black anyhow. That's not as bad as I thought it could have been. There's the spot that one rusty screw come from. It doesn't look too bad actually. So what I'm going to do here is turn the volume all the way up. So I might be able to see if it actually turns on. We'll be relying on sound. And what we're going to do is just take some tweezers. We're going to give it some power. There's a little corrosion on the power switch, but these first two pins, we're going to bridge those with tweezers and listen and see if it's drawing any amperage. If anything happens, that means it is the power switch, and we should be able to just clean that up. Looks like a couple of things need cleaning around here. There's a little corrosion down there, corrosion down there, some corrosion on the battery terminals as well. I'm just going to connect my little test supply here. Bridge those pins with some tweezers. So what we'll be doing is listening for it to turn on as well as monitoring the amperage. It should draw some amperage if it turns on. All right, I'm trying to figure out how to do this to where I can see and the camera can see. Turns on. Drawing 0.04 amps. This thing's not going to be the most accurate, but yeah, seems like it's just the power switch. So let's clean it up. Get the board out of here. Start with the L&R triggers. Get this bail unclipped. And then side grips. There's going to be a Phillips screw on the left side of the board. And a Phillips screw on the right side of the board. There is 2 posts for screw. There's another one over here. Usually it's going to be the one on the left side there. Or if you have a really, really old GBA, you might actually find one on each side. I'm just going to lift the board. Get that ribbon out. Forgot about the power switch that came out all by itself. Just kind of looking for more corrosion. There's a little corrosion on the other side here. On the start and select. These might not work. I'm just going to use a toothbrush and some 91% isopropyl alcohol. Give that a little scrub. It's looking better. There's still corrosion on select, a little bit on start. Just gonna keep moving on with the alcohol. Hit this spot, some of this switch, and where that rust was over there. Well, the rust cleaned up pretty good. So what I'm going to do for the power switch is try to take the shield off. And add some solder to this side and then to this side just to get some fresh solder in there. And then we're going to stick a blade up under here and pry. I'll show you when we get there. We'll put this blade up under here. I'm going to pry with the dull end facing my thumb. There we go. Once you got the one side up, the other side's pretty easy. I'll lift that switch out. Yeah. It's very corroded, very blue. What I'm going to do for this corrosion, normally I would just use alcohol, but I'm going to clip the end of a Q-tip off. Since it's blue in there, I'm going to use a little white vinegar. Just distilled white vinegar. I'm going to soak the end of this Q-tip. And some vinegar. Well, that's soaking up. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can see it. There's definitely some wet alcohol in there still. So I'm just going to give that a quick brush. Looking better already. A little too wide, so I'm just gonna pinch that. So I can get in there with the end of that Q-tip and just scrub the grime. Alright, that's looking pretty clean. This is more white vinegar. These things, they might be toast. these little prongs. I'm not sure how well they're going to show up on camera. There we go. You can see all the grime on them, how blue they are from that battery corrosion. What I'm going to do is just set this Q-tip right on it, because I don't know what kind of shape that's in. And give that some time to just, you know, do its thing. And in the meantime, I am going to grab another Q-tip. A little more white vinegar. I'm going to work at this here. Just going to dab it and leave it for a second or a minute. Got start and select cleaned up pretty nice. This spot over here is pretty blue. I'm not sure if there's a component under there or if it's just rough because it's so corroded. Oh yeah, the power switch. Oops. Power switch is looking way better. So that's good. I'm going to take that same vinegar Q-tip. I'm just going to leave that right on there. Well, it looks like it was just a test pad. I got a little impatient and just scraped once I realized there's no component there. Tore a hole through the pad, but a lot of it's still there and it's not used for anything as far as I can tell. So I think we're good. Now, when you got distilled vinegar on the board, it's not good to keep it there because it is corrosive. So I'm just going to go back over with some IPA. Kind of get the remnants of the vinegar out of there. Give that a minute or two to dry. This stuff here is a deoxit gold contact dressing. I think it's meant for gold plated stuff, but I'm just going to put a little down there in that switch. It's kind of a preventative maintenance, you know. Since we got it open, I'm just going to go across it once, very lightly. And fresh Q-tip. Just make sure I don't have too much in there. Hopefully that'll keep this switch going for another 15, 20 years. So I'm going to drop that back down in there. I'm going to create a little puddle of white vinegar. We got to clean that up before we put this back together to test. No sense in putting a corroded pad right back in there. I'm not going to give anything a deep clean today. Probably not at all until I have a project in mind for it. But, you know, it's always good to do a little preventative maintenance, make sure no more corrosion or rust spreads. So do what I can while we're in here, you know. Sometimes that speaker don't want to sit right. Get the ribbon back in. And just a couple screws. Where'd that screw go? It should be enough to test. It turned off. Let it turn off. Contact must have come loose. Seems like it's working. Power LED is working. It's switching on almost every time. Yeah, I think my gated clips are just coming loose. Let's get it back all the way together. and test it on some batteries. Just do 3 for now, see where we're at. Yeah, looks like it's working. Let's see if all the buttons work. See if it'll read a game. Up, down, left, right, A, B, L, R, start, select. Hey, everything's working. I think that's going to wrap this one up, guys. Thanks for tuning in. But wait, there's more. It's been a couple days since I recorded the initial footage for this video. And I have a little extra footage. I ended up removing the negative battery terminal. It was super corroded, and I let it soak in some vinegar with this screw. This is the rusty screw. But anyways, I'm going to roll that footage for you now and then come back and wrap up the video for real this time. I'm going to put this negative terminal into a little cup of vinegar. Probably going to throw that rusty screw in there too. Okay, so I want to end the video with just a kind of a warning about using vinegar. This is that rusty screw that soaked in the vinegar. This is just another random screw from the back of this Game Boy. You can see it's discolored it. I don't know if that's all from the rust or straight up from the vinegar, but I also want to kind of show you the battery terminals too. So we're looking at the negative one. You can see, pretty shiny, but this is not the one that was soaked in vinegar. This is the one that was soaked in vinegar, and you can kind of see it's got some discoloration. I'm not sure exactly what the process at work is here. I don't know if that's bad, if that's just some surface oxidation. I don't know. It seems plenty conductive. Everything still works. But I just kind of wanted to shoot that out there as a warning. Vinegar works pretty well on gold-plated stuff, especially the blue corrosion. If you're not dealing with corrosion, just use IPA. If you do know what process is discoloring it, drop a comment and let me know, because I'm not too sure. All I know is vinegar seems to be quicker at cleaning the blue stuff than alcohol is. But it discolors stuff, so I don't know what's going on. That's it for this one for real this time. Have a happy new year. Thanks for watching, and I hope somebody finds this helpful or informative. I'm gonna get out of here, dudes.